Hello everyone, this is Genius Yoshi and today we're finally building it. We're building Tamatoa. What is Tamatoa? Well, it's everyone's favorite shiny crab. He's a 5/8 for 8. When you get to play him, and whenever he quests, you get to bring back an item card from your discard to your hand, and you get to quest for 1+1 for every item you have in play. So this is a big bulky character that's hard to remove unless you have a single target removal spell. So all of these steel ping for damage or just your normal combat shenanigans, it's pretty hard to defeat Tamatoa this way. You really need like a Dragon's Fire, a Let It Go to get rid of it. But if you can keep Tamatoa on the battlefield, he's a great finisher because that questing ability can be so delicious, questing for obscene amounts based on how many items you have in play. So, what items do we have? Well, I've chosen to go with steel so that we have access to some removal and we have access to the Beast's Mirror. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of Beast's Mirror. We're playing 3 copies of Magic Golden Flower, 3 copies of Scepter of Arendelle, and 2 copies of the Coconut Basket. Why these? Well, the Magic Golden Flower you can sacrifice to heal a character. Healing can be useful, especially when we're playing a high-powered character like Tamatoa. Also, once you've sacrificed it, it gives you something in your discard pile to pick back up with Tamatoa. Now, since we're playing items, we might as well play the King of Items, which is Maurice. Allows us to get a discount on items whenever he quests, and we get to draw cards whenever we're playing these items on the battlefield. Because the items aren't really worth a card when you play them. They have mostly bad effects. Can be useful, you can't forget about them, but they're not effects that you want to pay a full card to play. So Maurice helps you mitigate that by allowing you to draw another card instead. So with that in mind, we have a bunch of cheap items now in our deck. A bunch of these small fries. We want to play them, and then we want to reach that Tamatoa. So there's a couple of disconnects. One is we need to reach the late game. So we'll need some removal along the way. We need some way to draw some cards. We need some way to ramp. And if we're playing all of these small cards on the battlefield, we need a way to draw some cards, because it just doesn't add up. We can't ramp and play a ton of small cards on the battlefield and hope to still have cards to play stuff later on. So, we have access to the 3 Beasts Mirror, which is a good backup plan, but our main plan is going to be going after the best draw spell in the game, A Whole New World. I know I keep on spamming that card, but it's just so good, and it allows us to play a deck like this. In particular, allows us to play all of our items early, swing A Whole New World, get a mid full of cards, and keep on playing to the mid or late game where Tamatoa is just going to bully its way to victory. Okay, so we've established our basic game plan. Play some items, draw some cards, play a Tamatoa. But if our game plan is going to revolve around the Whole New World, we need some singers. Okay, well, what are options for singers? We can go big, like Hades, Robin Hood, but they're quite expensive, and we're already playing an 8-drop and a 6-drop. So, everything bigger, I'm gonna cut for now. Then we look here, we have Beast. Beast is good. Cerberus, just big beaters. We have Aurora. Then we have Captain Hook. What happens if we try to fast shift some of those? Let's try that. So we're going to be playing fast shifters. Only a pair of Captain Hooks because it's not inkable. But the idea here is that by playing a cheap Captain Hook early and shifting the bigger Captain Hook, or same thing with Aurora, we get to sing an early Whole New World. And ideally, we get to drop a bunch of items on the battlefield, shift on turn 3 or 4, and start singing A Whole New World and get a new mid full of cards at that point in time. And try to establish a bit of board presence early on without having too many of these early drop characters. So really going after big bullies to stomp on whatever our opponent's doing as a way to get us into the late game. Speaking of getting us into the late game, let's play a full playset of Minnie Mouse Detective, because if we notice, we had mostly 1-2 drops and then 5, 6, and 8, so we need a good ramp spell, and Mickey's great at that. We needed a 3-drop, Mickey's great at that as well. And now we need to figure out what we're filling the rest of our curve with. There's a lot of space left. So if we're going to be shift singing, we might as well go all out and shift sing. And who's left that we haven't touched yet? Well, it's our favorite steel cards. Tinkerbell Tiny Tactician, as well as Tinkerbell Big Tactician or Giant Fairy. So let's play both Tinkerbells. So now we have the Tinker family, the Aurora family, and the Captain Hook family. And with those, we should be able to get our shift singing plan into action, which does rely on a whole new world, but we do have the backup of just emptying our hand and then making use of Beast's Mirror to catch up on cards. Well, if we're going to be ramping to our 5 drops that fast and singing, we do need some removal, so I'll be playing a pair of Grab Your Swords just to round up our removal options here. And great card to sing. Gotta love Grab Your Sword. Actually, I'm not sure what this song sounds like. I should Google it up. But for now, that's what we have. We do have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 uninkable so far. 12 is actually acceptable, but that's also why I'm not playing more Captain Hooks and Grab Your Swords, because we have expensive uninkables in the 5-drop slots here. We're missing 9 cards. What can we add? Well, when in doubt, play some copies of Develop Your Brain. I'm going to be adding 3 copies, mostly because I know how I want to eventually round up my deck. But I'd probably start with 4 and then look for other options and then go to cut. I'm also looking for inkables. Let It Go. Again, if we're talking singers, this one's an inkable song. So now we have access to Grab Your Sword, Let It Go, and Whole New World with 10 copies of singable songs and 10 copies of 5+ drop singers that can be shifted. Just beautiful. It's really a steel sapphire shift singers deck, which goes into Tamatoa and uses all of the items early game or to set up. And now we need 2 more cards. Well, with these expensive threats and the fact that we are looking for specific pieces, this is where Simba Future King really comes into play. So we'll be playing just a pair of them, just to help smooth out these draws where we have 2 whole new worlds early on and we really want to get that extra card or cycle one of those cards and still have a little bit of a presence on the board. And that's going to conclude our list. So we have a lot of very specific numbers in this deck. Feel free to play around with them, plus or minus 1 here and there. I'd be careful with the uninkable 5-drops, mostly the Captain Hook and the Grab Your Sword. We really want 4 Mickeys and the 4 whole new worlds. And so these have to be kept under check, let's say. Otherwise, if you're increasing them, you might want to increase the Simba count to try and compensate for it. But I don't want too many Simbas because, I mean, it's just the 1-2 for 1. Which does help you to cycle a card, but still, it's mostly going to get inked. And that's our list. And now, we're all eagerly waiting. Can we get the giant crab to win us some games? Tamatoa, let's see you in action with some games. Let's see what we get this time. Magic Golden Flower, Whole New World. Have some pieces. Some pieces indeed. Let's skip the Mickey. Skip the Let It Go and a Golden Flower and see if we can find a big Tinkerbell or a big Aurora. And we cannot. Alright, well, start by inking one of these flowers and passing the turn back. We do have a lot of hits. And a few turns to get there. And there we go. We found one of those hits. Let's ink the Tinkerbell, go with Aurora, and pass the turn back. Opponent's questing. Lilo and Simba. Problem is we need to ink a card. That's a bit annoying. I wish that Captain Hook was inkable. But we get to shift Aurora on top of the smaller one. Then we can take out Simba. We'll leave Grab Your Sword hopefully for a stronger board wipe next turn. The Dreaming Guardian on turn 3 is pretty impactful. Now Lilo's scared to quest. Opponent finds Ariel, which finds nothing. Alright, that's pretty good for us. We can keep on inking. Very tempted to just cast, sing a Grab Your Sword and play Magic Golden Flower. It's not the best Grab Your Sword. The other option is we sing a whole new world, maybe even play the Golden Flower first. No, I want to get rid of that Lilo. Let's deal some damage, take out the Lilo, play the Golden Flower, and pass the turn back. Rapunzel comes in and heals to draw. We're gonna have to punish that with a whole new world. So I'll ink the Tink. Then sing Whole New World. Aurora doing a lot of work. A lot of singing mostly. And we still have all our ink available. So it's time to start some of the ramping process. Mickey Mouse, please proceed. Then we can go Scepter, Hook. Maybe double Hook would have been a bit better in retrospect. What do we have in our discard? We don't have any items, so let's use the Golden Flower to heal Aurora. We can pick it back up later with the Tamatoa. Now our Dreaming Guardian is back at full force. Yes, even though the items are mostly there just to power up Tamatoa's questing, they have abilities that are impactful. Opponent finds a Be Our Guest. Now with the double aerial singers. Stitch Rockstar. Who the big scary stuff's coming. But that's also true for us. And Steel's not great at dealing with high toughness characters, like that Maurice, for example. But for now, I think we just want a bit more ink. So we're gonna go wide and go Mickey, which is the main card I want to play. Then we can go Aurora and Hook to support. We can give support to Aurora, quest, give power to the Mickey, and Mickey can take out Ariel. Let's take care of one of those singers, and I'll pass the turn back. Making use of the little things. kind of like Scepter of Arendelle. It's a fun card to use. Giving any character support in a wide board state is pretty nice. And the opponent's playing beasts, ruining our strategy. And the opponent's already at 6 with their questing, so we'll have to be careful about that. Ooh, grab your sword. I do like that. But now let's take a second to think. So if we sing grab your sword, Aurora's out of picture. Can't deal with the beast. We need to ping Ariel for 1. And we probably want to send Hook into Rapunzel. Yeah, we don't need Aurora. We can just sing it. You have nice, good combats just ready. Mickey can ping it. Hook can tackle. And we get Alana Maurice. 2/7. Big threat. Big threat at the ready. Grab your sword, definitely the answer in that matchup, or one of the best answers you can have to go wide opponents. Just swoosh, 2 damage to everything. And the singing cost is much more acceptable than for Be Prepared. Having a 7 drop to sing is difficult. Opponent found a big Tinkerbell would be our guest, using it to upgrade their small Tinkerbell, which unfortunately deals lethal damage to a few of our characters. Alright, and now it's time to go off. Off to the races with Maurice. Maybe it's not Tamatoa, but still a fairly decent character. Alright. I can send both Tinkerbells to the ink with Let It Go. Let's see what we draw first. So Beast Mirror, draw a card from Maurice. Find another Let It Go. I don't overly care for that Aurora, so you can go and trade with the Beast. I'm going to sing Let It Go with Maurice, sending Tinkerbell away for a long time. Fortunately, it's 2 ink. I guess we quest here. Don't really have a good target for Let It Go, and sending it to the ink for Beast Mirror, I'm not sure. I'd rather keep it for a bigger threat like a Stitch Rockstar, for example. Thankfully, we still have that Let It Go. First, let's develop our brain. Ooh, Tinkerbell. I prefer the Tinkerbell, but I'm going to draw the Hook. So I get an activation of the Beast Mirror. So I get to sing with Hook, send that back. Play Hook, Beast Mirror. Okay, I find a whole new world. Although I guess I could have just casted that big Tinkerbell. Opponent plays a whole new world to get rid of our copy of a whole new world, but off tempo. So we get the first turn with the full hand of cards, except for that little Lilo. I don't really need that Simba. I want to get rid of that Lilo, and Tinkerbell seems like the key. I might as well go for it. Tinkerbell, get rid of that Lilo. Go away, little girl. And opponent almost needs to grab your sword here, but I'm still going to play the Aurora. Applying a bit of pressure. Questing and passing the turn back. We need to find Daddy Crab. Mama crab? I'm not sure what's the gender of Tamatoa. Not sure it matters. Let's call it it, because it is a crab. Opponent does have Grab Your Sword and Tinkerbell. Alright, so we have the Tinkerbell attacks Rapunzel, ping Tinkerbell line of play, which seems pretty good. We're 1 ink short of going double Aurora, which would be pretty nice. Because then we could protect everything. So let's make sure we reach that for next turn. Ink card. Ink Captain. Let's get rid of Rapunzel. It's a 2-quester, and Tinkerbell survives to tell the tale. Pinging our opponent's Tinkerbell. We can quest with Maurice and get a free beast mirror. But then the opponent gets to fight Maurice and kill Tinkerbell in the exchange, which I'm not overly fond of. So I'm just going to cast an Aurora. Might as well play to develop your brain. Ooh, let it go. That's why you should cast the draw spells first, because I can get rid of Tinkerbell. That might have changed my line of play a little bit. Opponent plays Grab Your Sword, gets rid of one of our threats. And smashes our Aurora. Thankfully Maurice is still around. Opponent picks up Tinkerbell with Hades to make sure that he does not stick around for too long. Alright, well, while it's there, let's play Beast Mirror, draw a card. Tamatoa time! And we can get back Magic Golden Flower. Ooh, and that's quite interesting. Do we use it to just quest more with Tamatoa, or do we use it to save Maurice? I think we use it to save Maurice. Let's ink our princess. Play the flower, draw a card. Heal Maurice. And opponent's at 22-19. Opponent's going to be playing Tinkerbell. No, let's just hold. I know we can sing stuff, but we can hold with this hand. A little bit afraid of getting milled, to be honest. Because if we play a whole new world and our opponent plays a whole new world, we could be in danger zone. Big threats coming in. Tinkerbell and Stitch Rockstar. We can respond with Tinkerbell and Let It Go. So Tinkerbell comes in, pings everything. I think we have to let it go on the Tinkerbell. Stitch Rockstar is not as big a threat here, simply because of low deck count. So out you go, Tinkerbell, and Tamatoa will start the heavy questing. Also allows us to pick back a Magic Golden Flower. Oh, and we're out of ink. But we can quest with Maurice. Okay, let's quest with Maurice. Gives us a free Magic Golden Flower, which allows which we can then sacrifice to heal Maurice. So Maurice is still alive, healing with the help of Tamatoa. It's really a nice display of Tamatoa picking up items and putting them to good use. Opponent picks up Tinkerbell again. Looks like that Stitch is not doing the heavy lifting that it usually does. The opponent is going to go and trade their board for Tamatoa, sacrificing Stitch and Hades. And we have some items, so we can draw some cards. Scepter, draw. Didn't really want a whole new world here. Let's quest to get a free coconut basket. Drawing a Tinkerbell. We can use Tinkerbell to heal Maurice thanks to the coconut basket. And we can... questing with Tinkerbell is a bit risky here because the other Tinkerbell can fight us. So I'm just going to hold with the rest. How many Tamatoas have we gone through? One. Might have inked one. I don't fully remember. Opponent's going after our Maurice with the full power of whatever they've got. Pings our Tinkerbell and decides to play the whole new world. Taking out our pair of whole new worlds is not the worst thing. Ah, there they are. Tamatoa. I was going to say triplets, but I guess it's just a pair of them. Smashing our Tinkerbell. Punzel will get them to draw a pair of new cards. And quest. Opponent can go to 16. We have 4 items, and Tamatoa will pick one up from the discard. So Tamatoa should be able to just quest for victory. We can land it. Pick up our favorite magic golden flower. We can heal our Tinkerbell, even though she has no damage. Item. Item. Then we can ink something. And then we pass the turn. Can you deal with Tamatoa unexerted? Or play a whole new world, which is going to deck us out? Or do we get a win with the shiny crab? Opponent's questing. This is the manor questing. Does our opponent have an answer? This is the stressful part. We need a drum roll. I don't really have a drum roll. A beast can take out one of our items. So now Tamatoa can only quest for 6, but 6 is enough. And the opponent just dumping their hand on the battlefield, showing us that they can go wide. There's not much we can do, except win the game using our shiny crab. And wow, what a game that was. Showing off all the different items, showing off the power of Tamatoa. Just a great game, fun match. Love it. Let's see what we get dealt with this hand. The Mickey Beast Mirror, actually a bunch of items. No trace of shift singing. So I'll send these 4 back. Yeah, I'll send these 4 back. And we'll hope for some shift singing. Okay, we have some pieces. And more importantly, we have enough inkables to play. Let's see what our opponent does. Okay, opponent's playing steel. Not overly aggressive. So I'm okay with this. I think I'm just going to ink the Simba. Play a flower and pass a turn. Wasn't sure whether I wanted to keep it back, but if our opponent's playing steel, we have to respect the threat of the opponent playing a whole new world when we don't want it. Okay, steel amber. Steel amber tier 1 for the win. And we find our own copy of a whole new world. So for now, I think we send Maurice back. Play the Beast's Mirror. Pass the turn. Just setting up our little items. Getting ready for Tamatoa. A grade level tomato. For quests with Prince Eric. Alright, we find the small Aurora just a little too late. But we'll play Mickey. Get an extra card in ink. Oh, Mickey Detective. So great. Nice ramp spell, gives us a body. Alright, opponent plays Ariel, Singer of Doom. And finds Grab Your Sword. We find a hook. Alright. I like having Aurora on the battlefield here. Because Aurora can sing. So I'll just hardcast our Aurora and pass the turn back. And Aurora's kind of hard for that deck to deal with in one turn. As long as she remains unexerted, opponent needs something ridiculous like a Tinkerbell and double Grab Your Sword to deal with her. Or I guess singing you grab your sword and then smashing would also do it. Ooh, we find another Aurora. So you get to be fully hexproof, fully warded. There you go. Now all our characters have ward. We'll ink the Tink and sing. You know what? I don't think I want to sing it yet. Because if I sing it, I become vulnerable to Cerberus. Breaks my heart. To pass or to sing. Difficult decision. I think I'm gonna pass. But man, is it tempting to sing it. I want to sing it, but I don't want to exert Aurora. And your opponent says, "Have you forgotten me?" Yeah, I did forget about "Have you forgotten me?" We find our Crab Master, which we unfortunately have to ink so that we can use the Beast Mirror, finding another Beast Mirror, which we can't use because it costs 3 to activate, but that's okay. We just didn't have the ink for Tamatoa, and in this position we need to make use of the Beast's Mirror that just got destroyed by the Beast, quite appropriately. Opponent keeps on questing with Cerberus. As long as we still have the mirror, we're in decent shape. Let's ink that coconut basket. Draw a card. Tamatoa is a nice pickup, as long as the opponent allows us to play it next turn. And the opponent does have a lot of beaters on the battlefield, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. And Beast quests for a significant amount too. Scepter of Arendelle. Alright, so we'll play Tamatoa. We'll get our Beast Mirrors back. You only destroyed it temporarily, Mr. Beast. And now, do we ink one of those, or do we just hold? I think we hold for now. Tamatoa has entered the battlefield, and it's protected from any shenanigans, except "Have you forgotten me?" That's what I was afraid of. That's why I considered inking one of them. Then again, having our opponent spend 4 ink just on that, it's not the worst. And we find Maurice. So Tamatoa can fight here, which is quite interesting. Fight for 5. Now you have to take out the beast. So Tamatoa is going to fight the beast. Then we're going to play Maurice. And we're going to heal Tamatoa so that the opponent's Cerberus isn't enough to take out our big crab. 7 health. Although the other option is I just swing both Auroras into it. Then Tamatoa is difficult to remove. Yeah, I think I like that better. Sorry, Auroras. Your time has come. Maybe that's a mistake. Did I even quest with the Mickey? I can quest with the Mickey. What I'm really afraid of is the opponent taking out Tamatoa. But as long as the Tamatoa sticks, I'm going to be able to quest with it next turn. Get back my healing spell. Draw a card off of Maurice. That's good. Weak powered characters. Like seeing that. Find a Scepter. So I'll draw a card off of Tamatoa. Off of Maurice. Whole New World is not at all what I wanted. But we can use the Scepter and power up our Tamatoa so that when it quests, we can support Maurice and we can pick back up a Magic Golden Flower. We can play it, draw a card. Another one, play a draw card. Finding a Tinkerbell, which we can play. That's going to allow us to get rid of our Whole New World. And now Maurice, our 7/7 beater, gets to eradicate. And I say eradicate that Prince Eric. Maurice doing some work with the help of the Scepter of Arendelle. Smashing. Grab your sword. Grab your sword. That's a lot of damage. Opponent takes out Maurice. The double grab your sword. I think there's only one way to say it, and that is disgusting. Alright, well, we'll ink let it go. And I'll sing a Whole New World. Well, actually just cast it because all our singers died in an unfortunate incident. Fortunately, we are giving our opponent lots of cards here. Do you need to add some pressure to the board? So it's going to be Captain Hook and Mickey Mouse. And that'll be our turn. We've lost our giant crab. So sad. Was doing great things, great and powerful things. As the beast takes out our beast's mirror, which honestly I don't care about that much. But beast is a pain for this deck. Just the 2 questing and the ability to banish an item. Rapunzel. Rapunzel's power of the infinite draw. How many cards is our opponent playing? That's 2 Rapunzel triggers and a bunch of Whole New World. Our opponent is still singing. You can grab your sword, get rid of Rapunzel Ariel, but our opponent will still have lethal. So we'll go out the fun way, playing a Tamatoa. You will not deal with my beast's mirror. As we pass the turn, and it's time for the handshake, as our opponent wins the game by questing. Just a little bit too much control. That allowed our opponent to take out Tamatoa before we got to just heal him and draw more cards and quest for obscene amounts. Let's see what we have here. Bunch of small characters. Develop your brain, the golden flower. I think we can keep like this, hoping for a small hook or a small Aurora, and we find a small hook. So Captain Hook, thinking a happy thought, you're in line. If that's the case, then I want a hook on turn 3, so I'm gonna ink Tinkerbell. I'm gonna play the hook this turn. No one plays fire to cannons anymore, so I don't really have to fear for it. Opponent inks Simba, and the turn passes back to us. I don't think we're going to reach Tinkerbell with this hand. Oh, wait, no, we don't have a whole new world to sing here. We don't have a 2-drop, so I'm going to be playing Develop Your Brain. Do I want to develop your brain or develop your brain? Hard decisions. Let's ink a Tinkerbell here. Then we'll try to develop our brain again. We'll take the mid-range Tinkerbell. Opponent has revealed steel. I don't think there's anything that can threaten my small hook over here. There you have it. Forceful Duelist. Doing some questing while waiting for an opponent. Kuna Matata. Alright, Prince Eric. That's going to keep it out of pressure. Here we're gonna ink Aurora. Play Tinkerbell. Pass the turn back. The goal being that I want to shift Captain Hook, play the magic golden flower, and sing a whole new world next turn. Hopefully your opponent will still have a mid full of cards, but I didn't want to just throw everything away. Starting to amass our items. Opponent responds with their own copy of Tinkerbell. Alright, we find another magic golden flower, which is going to play nicely into our game plan. We ink it, we shift. Now we have Master Hook in play. Play a magic golden flower, and goodbye. Say goodbye to your hand, opponent, as we sing a happy thought of a whole new hand. And we find a Tamatoa. I'd like to have a Mickey to go with it. I think I'm going to use Tinkerbell's ability here, discard a Simba, which ironically has a very similar effect. Tiny Tactician, making some tactical decisions. Oh, and we have a big Tinkerbell. Maybe I should not have done that. One's gonna shift the big Tink. The big Tinkerbell here actually hurts like a truck because she can take out Hook. No, actually, she only hits for 4, so she can't take out Hook. But still hit like a truck. But she would not take out Hook. Now our captain can take out Eric. Or Tinkerbell. Because our little Tinkerbell is going to ping Eric. Another small Tinkerbell comes into play. Find another Let It Go. We are near the place where Let It Goes could be useful. I don't really want to play two Auroras either. I think I'm going to ink an Aurora. Take out a small Tinkerbell and go after Aurora, Scepter. And I'll heal Captain Hook. Just wait, no, I still lose to the big Tinkerbell. I was right, because the ping from Tinkerbell and then the attack from Tinkerbell. But the opponent didn't do it last turn, so I suspect they won't do it this turn. Yeah, the big Tinkerbell attacking Captain Hook's a problem. Problem that I talk a lot about, but don't really do anything to stop it. Opponent Inkston, have you forgotten me? So it's clearly an amber steel, which I could have found by just looking at our opponent's discard pile and finding the aerials. Beast. Downtaker of items. Bit of a pain to deal with this deck. Thankfully, Tamatoa picks back up those items from the discard. Oh, Mickey. Love to see it, but I really want to play Tinkerbell this turn. Get rid of that Prince Eric. Really, that's kind of all I wanted her to do. Did I quested Aurora? Nah. I think she's just going to stay there as a shift target. Or a grab your sword from the opponent's target. Speaking of which, her opponent hasn't played one yet. Should try to resolve her Tamatoa soon. With Mickey next turn, we can probably reach the ink count. Ooh, Moana. That's interesting. Are you a princess? Fairy. I'm not a princess. Find a magic golden flower. So I can ink Let It Go, play Maurice and the flower, and replace it, which is pretty interesting. I was playing just Mickey Mouse. Feels a little weak. It's what I want to play, but it's not ink efficient. It does allow me to resolve a Tamatoa next turn, which I do like. They don't really want to let go of my Let It Go. I'm going to go for the ink efficient play. Play Maurice, play the magic golden flower to draw a big Aurora. Alright. Now that we have a Maurice set up, it applies quite a bit of pressure on our opponent to do stuff. Thankfully, they're at zero lore, so 0 to 1. It's a bit of a standstill. Standstill until we resolve the big crab. Ariel comes in. Finds grab your sword. It's alright. Maurice has 7 health. Aurora goes down. Maybe I should have quested with her. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. Ooh, opponent makes us discard 2. Well, we gotta keep the Tamatoa. And we find an inkable. So you're going to the ink pool, and Tamatoa is going to find us our Scepter of Arendelle again. Which honestly I'm almost happier to have in my discard at this point. Can sacrifice Captain Hook, then have Tinkerbell deal with her. Deal 2 damage to something. It's not great. It's not great. I think I'd rather still pass. I want the opponent to have a bit more exerted before I go all in with that kind of assault. So now we have Tamatoa. And Tamatoa is pretty good at breaking this type of standstill. Because it can quest for a ton, and it's going to ask for a ton of combat damage from her opponent to take it down. Funzel heals Tinkerbell, drawing 1. Hans, Pinger of Doom. How much can our opponent quest for? 11. That is significant. We find a hook. Alright, well, we have a Maurice, so we're going to play Scepter, draw. And that's where drawing loop ends. Well, most of our opponent's characters can't challenge Captain Hook, so maybe we quest with it? Now let's go Magic Golden Flower. Heal. That doesn't matter. Beast is going to have to challenge it, because none of the other ones are able. I don't want it. Nah, I don't want it to get pinged by Hans. That'd be bad. So let's heal it with Magic Golden Flower. Then you get a quest with Tamatoa, pick back up the Magic Golden Flower, play it again, draw a card again, Coconut Basket. That's fun. Draw a card. Mickey. Play Mickey, heal Maurice, off of the basket, ink a card, play Aurora. Oh, no, play Captain Hook. Use the basket, heal Tinkerbell. And pass the turn back. There's nothing to challenge here. Can quest for 12, but now we're at 4. So Tamatoa is starting to do some work. But it's probably going to go down. At the very least, it's going to force our opponent to go into combat. And by forcing that combat, we're going to have Tinkerbell do a lot of damage. We have Captain Hook to do a lot of damage. So really the worst case scenario is our opponent has another grab your sword. Which doesn't seem to be the case. But we're just going to have a big battle royale over here. And then we're going to be able to use our Scepter of Arendelle, Magic Golden Flower, and Coconut Basket. And a great effect. Or the opponent is just going to try and quest for everything, but then we have good combat. And if the opponent doesn't quest and doesn't challenge, well, we're questing for 5 a turn with Tamatoa right now. Well, not only that, we can use Magic Golden Flower, quest with Tamatoa, pick it back, draw a card. Okay, opponent decides to go after the heavy questing, which means it's combat time. Or really just questing with Moana. Not sure how heavy that is. Okay, Hans. That's enough questing for me to deal some damage. Then I need to deal some damage, because otherwise our opponent's just going to win off of questing. Alright, we find Tinkerbell. So, first things first. Tinkerbell can fight Hans or Tinkerbell and ping something for 2. Hook can fight for 3. So Hook taking down Beast seems like an almost automatic. So we're going to do this one. Captain Hook can challenge for 5, so you can go in and challenge Moana. Tinkerbell can take out Tinkerbell, ping Moana, and then Mickey Mouse can go in and challenge Hans. Which seems pretty nice. I like this line. We take minimal damage. We take out a lot of our opponent's stuff. I said Mickey will take out Hans. So Magic Golden Flower to heal Tinkerbell. Then we use Scepter of Arendelle to give support to Tamatoa. Tamatoa quests, picking up the Magic Golden Flower, supporting Mickey. We play the Golden Flower, draw a card, finding another Mickey. We use Mickey to take out Hans, now that he's a 6/3. And we have enough stuff, so I think we just start questing. So quest with Maurice, go Mickey, Coconut Basket, heal Hook, Tinkerbell, Coconut Basket, heal Tamatoa, Aurora, Coconut Basket, not useful here. And now we have lethal questing next turn. And we made use of all of our items, all of our effects. It was a thing of beauty. The opponent's doing a triggered action. I'm not sure which triggered action could be played. Oh, be your guest. Finds a Tinkerbell. I don't think Tinkerbell does it. Tamatoa quests for a ton. Tinkerbell comes in, pings everything. And opponent mana quests. Gets to take out our Aurora. So now we can only quest for 12. Let's do it. Tamatoa questing. Bam, 15, 16, 18, and Maurice will get the coup de grace, bringing us to victory with the power of Tamatoa and the array of items doing a good job supporting the squad. I hope that you've enjoyed this video featuring Tamatoa and all of its item shenanigans, whether it's picking up items from discard pile, throwing a Magic Golden Flower into the discard pile, picking it up by questing, playing it again, using Maurice to draw some cards, and all of the crazy stuff that comes with it. We had a fantastic game one. Very happy about that one that displayed the deck in all its glory and all of the shenanigans we can do with it. Definitely a lot of fun to play. Getting these shifters very early, quite helpful. We do sacrifice a bit of cards, but shifting has proven to be a very strong mechanic, especially shift singing, and just singing in general is a pretty strong mechanic too. But this deck makes use of these mechanics to build around Tamatoa and make the shell pretty fun in itself, with lots of recursion, lots of abilities, lots of triggers effect that you need to think of. Definitely a blast to play. Again, I hope that you've had a great time. Don't forget to smash the like button on the video, and I'll see you next time.